Hi, my name is Kara, and
I'm Bobby.
we're here today to do Topic Talk, and today's subject is
Cartoons.
cartoons. Who doesn't like a good cartoon?
I love them.
Yeah, I'm not a big animated fan anymore.
So I grew up drawing cartoons, so they were a big part of my childhood growing up. I watched everything that came on TV and tried to draw everything I saw.
See, and I did that too. Like Garfield, that was my favorite. Like to draw was Garfield and Odie, and my dad was Beetle Bailey and the Sarge, which was a comic strip. Like
I remember.
yeah, and so he kind of got me into drawing those, and that's where my art came in. Yeah. Was
my art came from my cousin Carlton, who was like the best artist I've ever seen in my life besides Bob Ross. So we would sit on my grandma's porch and he could draw anything, and I wanted to be just like Carlton when I was growing up.
So are y'all so close to see?
We are still friends. We are still like Ninja Turtle friends. I bought his child a Ninja Turtle outfit when he was born, so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we are still friends.
So is he older or younger or
He
the
was
same age?
older. He was older. He's like 2 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
And we would meet up at my great-great-grandma's house in the summertime, and we would stay on her porch, and we would draw every cartoon that we could think of, or make paper airplanes. That was our summer.
Yeah. Does he still draw?
No, I asked him that about a year ago. He was like, no, he only draws his name on checks now. So.
Go figure.
So, no.
Yeah. But you still like to draw.
I still draw in my pastime.
Yeah.
Not as good as I was, but I still like to draw in my pastime.
Yeah, I doodle. My major was art, but mine was like 3-dimensional art. So I kind of got out of the drawing and that kind of thing. But yeah, my art inspiration was cartoons and comic strips and stuff. So what was your favorite cartoon?
Ninja Turtles. Hands down, Ninja Turtles.
Was Ninja Turtles when we were kids?
It wasn't. I was.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair
it
enough.
was.
Fair
Yes,
enough.
it was. It was early 80s. I mean, late 80s.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
when I was just starting to get into drawing, so early 80s.
Okay, man, I feel old. Okay, well, mine was Smurfs and Garfield were my big cartoons that I watched religiously.
And I was not quite into Smurfs.
Yeah, I think it was more for a little girl. I think that Smurfs seemed to be, because they weren't as mighty. Yeah, I don't know. It just
We had Hefty.
We did have Hefty. We did have and Brainy Smurf. He was pretty smart. Yeah. And,
that was my favorite.
And then there was only one female. So,
Right.
Yeah, so it was a male dominant society, because even Gargamel and Azrael were males.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the purpose of that. I didn't like that Gargamel was trying to kill them, basically.
Yeah.
That never made sense to me.
Yeah. Well, if you think about like the cartoons a long time ago versus cartoons now and stuff, because talking about Bugs Bunny,
Right.
and Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
Sam and,
Roadrunner was always trying. I mean,
it was a lot of murder and death.
He was always trying to blow him up or hurt him or something like that. And now with Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd, they've taken away their guns.
Right.
And
which is gonna be a little weird, because I saw a picture of Elmer Fudd with a sickle. It was like a long sickle, like death hose. And I don't understand if that's gonna make it better or worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't. And the thing is they never hurt each other. They never they always tried, but it always backfired.
Well, Tom and Jerry did.
Tom and Jerry.
If you actually watch Tom and Jerry, that's probably one of the most violent cartoons of all time, and they really hurt each other there quite a few times.
But they always wound up with Band-Aids, and
Yeah,
then they
would get over it.
Yeah,
but-
exactly.
But kids today do not need to watch Tom and Jerry.
Do you know
from my period?
Okay. Yeah, but here's my deal. Like, you watched Tom and Jerry,
Right.
and you watched Wile E. Coyote, and you watched Elmer Fudd, and all of that, and
I turned out all right.
And what? No, my question is did that have an effect on you? Like, as far as violence goes, did it?
No, it just made me want to draw. Like, no, cartoons never influenced my behavior. I did a lot of that on my own,
Yeah.
so it never really influenced my behavior. But I think this generation of kids are not the same as we were when we were growing up.
I don't
think
I
they
don't
have
think so either.
the mental capacity that we had.
And why do you think that is? Maybe this is too deep for this subject, but why do you think that is? Like, why do you think that we coddled our kids too much? That we protected them from?
I think to start off, they have more than we had.
Oh.
I think that's one of the main things. They had a lot more than we had. I'm just looking around my daughter's room, and there's a tablet, there's phones, there's, she has everything, TVs and everything. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a house where we shared a TV. It was 4 of us, and we shared a TV in the living room, and that was basically, the only thing we basically agreed on was watching Bob Ross.
Yeah.
That's Bob Ross, and then after that, it was a war to see who was going to watch whatever they were going to watch on TV.
Right.
But I think now the kids have so many like electronics that we never even imagined we would have.
But how does that affect the cartoons, like that we're watching? Like, how does that affect them from being desensitized? I don't know, or being more sensitive.
I mean, we used more of our imagination. We were out on the porch. Like I said, I spent my summers on the porch outside. So when I got a chance to watch a cartoon, it was Bugs Bunny, and it was something like Ninja Turtles. But I also went outside, and I also played, and I also got that experience. Now kids are stuck in TV, in front of TVs or electronics, and that's all they do. That's all they don't have that grip of reality like we had. Okay, I'm gonna watch this, but then I'm gonna go outside.
Right.
I don't think kids know how to play outside anymore.
I don't think that they know how to play outside either. But talking about playing outside and watching cartoons, did you ever like watch a cartoon or watch a TV show and then go outside and reenact it?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It was we did the Ninja Turtle thing. We did the Power Ranger thing at some point. I think got at the very beginning of Power Rangers because I was a little older around that time. But I've always went outside and like reenacted cartoons or tried to play it.
Right. And so so when you're reenacting it and like you see it and you're reenacting it, does that not make it like, I mean...
But we didn't get violent. We didn't like, we were Ninja Turtles. We were trying to do karate moves, but we were trying to do karate moves on each other.
Yeah. My brother was always trying to do karate moves
I think the most thing that influenced our playing was wrestling.
Yeah.
Watching those guys, that kind of influenced us because you want to go outside and you want to be, the Sting or the Ric Flairs or some of the other guys, but not the cartoons.
Yeah, but once again, like even the wrestling and stuff in reenacting that, did that make you want to go beat up somebody?
Not physically, but I wanted to try some of those moves out. I wanted to powerbomb my little brother or.
But like I guess my thing is like if we're I don't know, where did that end? Like where did that being able to go out, watch a cartoon or watch a whatever change from you knew that it was fiction to now we can't even watch it because someone's going to make it a reality?
I have no idea when that gap happened. I don't know. I don't know if it was when comic books became more real or when TV cartoons became more real. And one of the things about our cartoons is we never saw the blood and we never saw the gore. We didn't have that.
Right.
If you watch a cartoon today, you're gonna see a lot of blood and gore. And I was watching a Mortal Kombat movie that came out on DC recently, and that was like one of the worst comic book movies that I've ever seen because it showed all the gore and the killing, and it was just there. I mean, you could see body parts being split apart. So I think that's kind of the switch. When we got deeper into those type of comic books, that became kind of a switch. It became more from you saw what we saw, the Tom and Jerry, to now people cutting off people's head.
Right. Right, but it seems like it's the Tom and Jerry cartoons and it's the Elmer Fudd cartoons that are getting, you're taking that away from them.
And I think that's the thing is they're trying to show kids that it's not okay to play with guns.
Yeah.
A lot of us are gun owners now in our home,
right?
And you don't want the kid to find that gun and think, oh, Elmer Fudd had the gun like this, and he shot Tweety Bird, and Tweety Bird's still alive.
But even so, I grew up. In my dad had guns. He's an avid hunter,
right?
And stuff. And I knew better. Like if I went into my dad's closet and there was a gun, I knew not to touch it because I was going to get I was going to get in trouble if I did.
Right.
And it was obviously more trouble if I would have messed with it and actually got hurt.
Right.
But that was just. There was a respect there that was taught in the home that this is not a toy.
Right.
This is, and I never even thought, like with Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny and stuff, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
That okay, this is a cartoon, but this is I never,
has.
it never really went through my head. Now, and I was. For a long time, I was scared of them. The noise, and my grandfather, he would take me squirrel hunting and stuff like that with him. But I don't know. I never felt threatened by it. But and at the same time, I always respected him and whoever I went with. To know my place was not. With that. So
see, my dad grew up, we had guns at our house too, but my dad was also military trained. He was in the National Guard the whole time I was growing up. So one of his things was, I'm going to teach you about them, and then I'm going to let you know how damaged they are, but you're not allowed to touch them.
Right.
So we grew up shooting guns, going out on the levee, and we would target shoot on the levee, and we would come back and he would lock his guns up, and there was nothing to worry about because we knew not to go and mess with his guns. We knew not to go and touch anything.
Right.
So that respect was there, but the kids today, I don't think they have that same respect. And I don't know if it's a parenting issue or if it's just one of those, I'm going to do whatever I want to do issues with the kids.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I have been thinking about that a lot, but we're talking cartoons.
Yeah.
So, like Ren and Stimpy. I know growing up, I wouldn't let my kids watch Ren and Stimpy because it was so vulgar and just like gross, but you can't help but laugh sometimes at the adult humor in cartoons like that.
If you watch SpongeBob. Yeah, I was on
SpongeBob.
the
But see, I love SpongeBob. And my kids love SpongeBob. And at the time watching SpongeBob, I didn't really get it.
Right.
And I guess it was because I wasn't paying attention, and maybe that's another thing now. Our parents are paying closer attention to what their kids are watching, but is us desensitizing them to that by protecting them? Is that making things worse? I don't know, but like my kids watching SpongeBob, like my son can probably quote every single episode of SpongeBob, and there are times when I can't think of something, and there's an episode of SpongeBob where he Squidward is trying to impress his cousin or nephew. He's trying to impress and then so in his restaurant he wants SpongeBob to learn everything about fine dining.
Right.
And so SpongeBob goes into his brain and he empties his brain and he only puts in fine dining. And so when the guy asks him his name, he can't think of his name, and he goes through all the file cabinets looking for his name. That I feel like that 99% of the time, and I'm like, I so relate to SpongeBob.
That's true. I got into SpongeBob when I saw that it did have like the adult elements in it, and I'm like, I'm watching this with my daughter. I'm like, hold up. I caught that. I hope you didn't catch
Right,
that.
right. And you kind of, yeah, exactly.
Like,
but I think that's kind of the same way with Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner. Is like my family watched it as a group. Like my dad enjoyed watching it. I had relatives that at Christmas time we would sit around and talk about,
right.
Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, and stuff. And it had adult elements, which was the violent part of
right.
it,
Right.
But we all knew it was a cartoon. We all knew that it wasn't real. And Scooby-Doo. So I know there's a lot of parents that won't let their kids watch or read Scooby-Doo because of the ghost and the spirits that are equated with Scooby-Doo. But at the same time, it's Scooby-Doo.
But when we were growing up, Scooby-Doo there were fake ghosts. It was always someone hiding under the mask.
Exactly.
Now, I have saw the zombie episodes recently, but when we were growing up, it wasn't.
Right, there wasn't.
It wasn't serious. It was just people hiding in masks.
And if it wasn't for those pesky kids, they would have gotten away with it.
There you go.
Exactly.
It was always someone in a mask.
Yes. And so, maybe that's is parents' thing, is they don't want people or want their kids growing up thinking that they're all. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean,
but I like a good cartoon like that. Like where you can. I don't know. It's a part of our childhood.
What about the Jetsons? Did you watch the Jetsons?
I watched the Jetsons. I wasn't a big Jetson fan.
But here's the great thing about the Jetsons. If you go back and look at them now, a lot of their technology, we have it today.
We do.
We don't have the flying cars yet.
Yeah, and we don't. What was the robot maid's name?
I cannot remember. Somebody tell us the robot's name.
Yes. What was her?
It wasn't Dorothy. Rosie?
Rosie. Yes.
We got it.
We got it. We do. Yeah, Rosie. So I want a Rosie. The closest thing I have to Rosie is my Roomba, and I love the Roomba. This is not a.
I want a flying car. I have been on the ground long enough. I want a flying car.
Yeah.
We should be there now.
We should be, but there are people that can't drive a turnabout in Conway. So I'm just saying we may need a little bit more training on the turnabouts.
But I'm not saying for everyone. I just want one person for myself.
Yeah. Okay.
But
if
y'all
you
can stay
have
on the ground.
If you have one, we are going to want one. Because it'd be fun taking a turnabout. You just fly right over.
Yeah, you just fly right over everyone. And I'll be right at work. So.
There's a turnabout on Irby that several people have flown over.
Really?
Yeah, like they've hit it and flown into the neighbors
If you're a neighbor on Irby, YouTube that.
Yes.
Next time it happens, we need to YouTube that so we can all see
When we bought our house down in that way, that one of the houses there by that turnabout, their mailbox had been hit twice in 2 months because people were jumping that turnabout. Which it's kind of silly because you have to stop at the turnabout.
Yeah.
And then that's.
I didn't understand that one.
Yeah.
But after I went to your neighborhood a few times, I saw the need for it because there's actually kids out there.
There are, but it's what's the point of the turnabout if you have to stop? Yeah. My son got a ticket there for not stopping, and then when he went to court, and they was talking about, what's this for? And he said, because of their turnabout on Irby, and the judge just kind of laughed and said, you're guilty, and so pay the fine. There's a stop sign. No. He still had to pay the fine. He laughed because he thought it was kind of silly too, but the fact that he didn't stop,
I thought he would.
But that's good though, because there's a stop sign there, and regardless, you've got to follow traffic laws. Maybe not in cartoons.
Right now.
Yeah, we really are. Maybe not on cartoons.
So what about the Flintstones? Did you like
the Flintstones? Oh yes, I did like the Flintstones. I did like the Flintstones. Barney and Betty, and Fred and.
I was just going to say, how do you go to Barney and Betty? You missed Fred and Wilma.
Fred and Wilma, because I couldn't think of Wilma's name. And that's why it took me a minute. That's why I didn't want to say Fred and then because I knew. Okay, but yes, I like the Flintstones. The Flintstones were really cool, and I like the fact that how creative they were with their dinosaurs. That their dinosaurs were their their
their pets.
There were their pets, and there were their work equipment. That's how
that's true.
Yeah, that's how
true.
Barney and Fred went to work
Move
every day and
boulders.
moved boulders and stuff with their crane dinosaurs.
And I actually found out that I didn't know this, but in the earlier episodes, Dino talked.
Oh, did he?
Yes. In
Oh.
the early episodes, he talks. He doesn't say complete sentences, but he actually communicates with Fred and Wilma.
Oh.
And I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like in high school, they call me Pebbles because for some weird reason I wore a
Please don't say a
ponytail.
bone.
No, I wore a ponytail on top of my head with hair bows on there. So the hair bows kind of like look like bones, but you look at a little pop knot. I don't know why, but in high school I just thought that was so cool.
In high school?
Yeah, I thought that was so cute.
Okay.
I don't even know why. So
Was it the style?
No, I never went with anybody's style. I created my own style, and then when
That's
someone
cool.
else tried to mimic it and stuff, I would change.
That's cool.
To the point one time I shaved my head, so that was not smart. That was a little.
That was out there.
Yeah, that was way out there. So therefore, that's why I have long hair now. Is because after that incident, I was like,
Hey, when you
never
said shave
again.
my head, I was like, oh, that was so outrageous. And then I thought, my head is shaved. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I don't know. It looks. Yeah. On me, I did not look good with a shaved head. Now there's a lot of women with really short hair, beautiful because it just accents their face and stuff. But to me, it was not attractive. It was not attractive.
At least you tried it. You have that experience.
Yes.
Right?
And in one time, I did the really tight French braids in my hair because Bo Derek. When she had the French braids, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. So instead of having mine done like hers, I had mine plaited. It was not attractive either. I don't know.
I like how you're honest about it. Yeah, that did not work.
It wasn't. It was one of the worst. It was one of the worst decisions I made in my life as far as hair goes. So therefore, you will never see me with short hair.
Okay.
And
well, I don't think you'll ever see me with long hair.
oh, okay. So, well, if you ever decide, I've got some I can donate to you. If we can make you a little wig. Okay, back to cartoons.
I would like to know what's everybody else's favorite cartoons.
Yeah, what are your favorite cartoons?
Like, did you draw when you were growing up? And if you did you...
What was it influenced by? Was it influenced by cartoons? Because I know a lot of people that is where they got their start with drawing, was watching cartoons or reading the newspaper with the
I also want to say one more thing about cartoons. Me and one of my childhood friends, best friends, his name was Anderson Newman, used to draw comic books in class. And we came up with our own comic book that was heavily influenced by Bart Simpson.
Really?
Yes, heavily influenced by Bart Simpson. But it was one of the best times of my life because we would sit in class and we would draw while we were supposed to be working. But coming up with those comic books with him was just fun.
Yeah, very creative. Yeah, so how many of you guys are drawing this summer? Because there's nothing else to do right now besides stay at home. Yeah, so you're drawing and watching cartoons and catching up on your childhood and
being influenced by other people like Bob Ross.
Right. Oh man, Comic Conway, the guy that dresses up like Bob Ross.
Yeah, his daughter works here.
Does she?
Yes.
Who's his daughter?
His daughter. Should we say okay?
No. You'll have to tell me later. I didn't know that. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, his daughter works here.
Oh, that's really
And she's an artist too. And she's really good.
That's really awesome. I had no idea. Well, learn something new every day at work.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's one of my favorite characters too.
Yeah.
Because Bob
The
Ross
Happy
saved my
Trees.
life. Yes.
Yes.
I love Bob Ross.
Yeah.
And that's where I go when I want to like relax. I find a Bob Ross video on YouTube and I just watch Bob Ross.
Yes.
So,
we need more happy trees in our lives.
There you go.
And there's a
happy
tree.
mistakes.
There's a tree in the background. A little Bob Ross
really
right there.
notice that.
I know. Yeah, just a little play on Bob Ross right there. All right. Well, let us know what topics you want us to talk about because we're off topic this week.
Yeah. But it was a great conversation.
It was a great conversation.
Nice.
Yeah, it did. It did. So, if there's something that you want to talk about, let us know, and we'll start the conversation, and we'll have that talk, and let us know what cartoons you like.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I'm a little bit older than Bobby, apparently. So my cartoons gotta go back a little bit, and you're a lot younger than Bobby. So
Yeah, that's true. The
so-
modern day cartoons I know nothing about, so tell me about those.
yeah, absolutely. What cartoons do you watch? And I know anime has
Yes,
the Japanese
a
cartoons
huge following.
have a huge following and stuff. And we even had a anime club here a while back, a long time ago. We don't have it anymore, but the kids taught me a lot about anime and stuff. It just wasn't my cup of tea, but but they're okay. I'm sorry. We're the one, and you guys can tell me which one it is. I think it was a time traveler, and they went inside of the building, and the building like moved, and it like went to different times. I don't know. That was my first one that I watched, and that one was actually pretty interesting.
I've never seen it.
So, I don't know. I think there is there.
It sounded like you were talking about Flying Houseful.
Is that it? Is
no,
that the anime?
No, because that was a Bible story when we were little. It was like the little kids would go into the house and would fly out to a different Bible story.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was two. It was one called Superbook and one called The Flying House. And
Oh,
we used to watch those
got
when we
you.
were little.
Got you. No.
But
Yeah, and VeggieTales is another.
VeggieTales,
Yeah,
right.
is another one. My kids liked them some VeggieTales. But okay, anyway, so if you guys let us know what cartoons that you're watching or that you like that influenced you as a kid, what you think about Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam losing their
Their
weaponry, and if you think that, I don't know, let's talk about it. What do you think? And let us know what topics you want us to talk about next week. Until then, have a great week.
great talk, guys.
Bye.